Hey everybody, what's going on? This is Siege. Got my man Allegretto here for another edition of Anime Maniacs. Allegretto, what's going on with you? How's it going?
It's going all right, just hiding from the cold.
Man, you ain't lying. It's supposed to even get colder within these next few weeks in our great state of Ohio over
Don't remind me.
here. For sure. Well, how everything been going with you? I know it's been a while since we did another episode. Just a quick check in. How you been?
It's been the same. I just work, come home, stay out the way, nothing major. You know,
Man.
catching up on some video games and running these kids down on that Black Ops 6.
I feel you on that. I had started playing Black Ops 6, but I jumped off for a minute because I don't had enough storage once that Dragon Ball Z came out. I was like, let me go back to the turtle school real quick. But yeah, man. So it's good to hear everything is good. Y'all, we're gonna just
Yes.
dive right into some great topics that we got for y'all today. This one is just straightforward. We're gonna talk about world building, like which animes that we believe did a super great job of like world building, and maybe some that didn't. I'm gonna let you kick that one off just to see. I'm interested to see which animes you think did a great job of building worlds.
Um, Me being the type of person where, and I said this before, I like the how does things work areas of um just anything that I'm interested in, even like Star Trek. How does a starship work? How does they operating system work? That type of stuff. So I'm gonna say Bones for sure. They do a good job of world building. Um, Let me see here, Studio Ghibli. Uh, who was the ones that did Trigger for sure? Sunrise with the Gundam series.
Oh yeah.
Play like Production IG, Ghost in the Shell. Whew, one of the best. Psychopaths, Attack on Titan, stuff like that. I mean, it's pretty much you just pick one because each studio usually has a few anime where they did a good job building up the world that they had on there. But for me, not being up on a lot of the newest of the new stuff, it's kind of hard to pick anything that's super new besides places like Trigger and stuff like that. So
Yeah.
that's about where I'm at with it.
Yeah, I thought anime specifically, the like One Piece did a great job of world building. I think it was a very like vast, not really. It's linear, but it's a vast world where you got these different islands. You can go on to every island is different. Like going from once they cross the Grand Line or whatever, you start seeing Big Mom's world where it's like all of these cakes and pies running around, and just it just very different, interesting. Then you get the Egghead where it's very futuristic and that kind of thing. So just small examples. So I thought they did a good job. Man, it for Gundam. Anything in the Gundam series is crazy for me. Like not necessarily the actual world because it's a model of what we do, what we live in now, Earth, and then space colonies or whatever. But the way it's so like just the history behind it, I thought they did a good job of like explaining how they got there to the space colonies. I thought that was very very interesting. Gundam is just awesome, period. But I don't know if I can say world building just because it's a model of ours, but it's still top tier anime for me. Speaking of which, I'm in the ZZ Gundam series now. I've been watching them in order for those who do not know. So I'm at ZZ Gundam now. Let me think. World building. I don't know, man. That's another difficult. I will say, since you mentioned Studio Ghibli, like anything that I've watched from them, as far as just even just the animation style is top tier. Like My Neighbor Totoro is like one of my favorite animes of all time. It really was one of the first ones I got into. Um, just a fantastic anime. Um, do you remember Little Nemo's Nights in Slumberland? I think that's what it's called.
Hmm.
It's like it was like like a story of his. I have to send you that one. I don't know if you can call that one world building either because it's basically like him in a dream. But yeah, but we can watch that, visit, rewatch that, and visit that another day. But if I have to say, I would say most of the stuff in Studio Ghibli, that stuff is a model of our world too. Some of it, but it's like I don't know. Y'all can watch that for yourselves. But I would say One Piece is top tier
Yeah,
anime world building for me. Man, you said Attack on Titan. I think Attack on Titan just that whole setting fit perfectly to what was going on. You know, just the mystery behind how the Titans came to be made the outside world so mysterious. And then when they started going out there, you're like, oh my God, he passed the wall. What's going on? You know what I'm saying? It's built up tension there. So I will say that. But Inuyasha was great too. It was a great world too. It wasn't super big like
right.
multiversal or nothing like that, but just that was this setting in there was fantastic. Even though that was what feudal Japan, so still Earth, but yeah,
Yeah, I mean, but back then it was more of a product of the times because they didn't really dig super deep into it. Plus, it was based on old lore anyway, so they just kind of played it close to that.
true, true. Oh, how can I forget Dragon Ball Z? Just Dragon Ball, period. I'm bugging. I gotta add them in there. Even with Diamond, like they answer more questions about like the whole universe, like the three demon worlds. Figure out where the
Namex
Kais
and
come from.
Ties come from.
Yeah, so it's like you kind of get even a better sense of the world, the vastness of that world. Then why they left Namek, or why they left the demon world to settle on Namek, that kind of thing. So got to get them top tier marks for that. That was pretty good there.
Yeah,
Uh,
but they didn't
so
never.
yeah,
Um, I mean, they could do a whole lot more with it in Dragon Ball Z world, but I don't think we're gonna get too much deeper into it with you know Akira Toriyama being gone. So I would like to, but unless he got some notes written down somewhere, I don't think we're gonna get as deep as like per se like One Piece is. Which, like you said, I believe that overall that's one of the best because probably is for 20 years after that series is done, he could just write books for the rest of his life, just
true,
explaining all the like you said, it really gave you a sense of how big that world was under versus something like Gundam where you can get on the other side of the planet like it's hopping on the bus to go downtown.
true, true. That's
They
a good
really,
analogy.
yeah, but the only thing with that is like they let stuff drag for so long on there, like even better than Dragon Ball Z. Arcs taking years to get finished and stuff, but it is what it is. I ain't complaining because there's a whole lot of stuff that he got to pull from, or he could just make some stuff. I ain't gonna say make some stuff up, but just more so like he can delve deeper into a lot. He got 20 something, damn near 30 years worth of stuff to explain, like the poneglyphs and a lot of the stuff with the devil fruit and the different races and where certain people came from and stuff like that. Like, what's up with Zoro's eye, Mihawk, and you know, it's just like I said, we could have a whole freaking couple of episodes just on the One Piece world.
Right. Yeah, man. So I will say I think that's one of the best, even though that's one of the easiest probably to say just because of the popularity, but can't knock the world building in there, especially when you go on the islands and each island is different, and even how you got to get to the islands, that kind of thing. So they kind of really thought that out there. Um, Man, I'm having a hard time even pulling out stuff that's different because most of it is like earthly, like Demon Slayer, for instance. The way the lore behind that. I mean, you got
Right.
the demons fighting. Well, we calling him Michael Jackson, but you got them chasing Mike around. You know what I'm saying? And, they finally, to the end of that. They're supposed to end that with 3 movies, ain't they?
Man, yeah, but I don't even like the way it ended. First of all, and yeah, I rather. I mean, if you just want to make it movies and then finish the story, I won't complain too much. Who am I to say?
Yeah, I think they got to do. They got to be top tier. End this whole series with 3 movies, but Been top tier so far, so we'll leave it to them. But I think that some of the interesting things that they did in that specific world, like the breathing techniques, I
Mm-hmm.
was like, that was masterful. Except for the sleepy bandit. He the only one. He the only one. I'll just be like, bruh. Which we talked about that in another episode. He's still annoying to me, but but that is what it is. Um, that is what it
I'm
is.
glad that tropes is done and over with.
Yeah, cause that dude right there, that was annoying. But yeah, that was another one. They had a lot of interesting like little quirks and stuff on there, specifically with the breathing techniques, how how they learned them or whatever. Even though they still got a lot of questions that they need to answer, like who was the first sun breathing dude anyway. But whatever, uh,
Right.
we get
Which
there, I
they don't
guess.
necessarily really need to because for them that series ain't go as long as some of these other ones that had so much time to build up on it. So I mean, I think they'll be able to get away with not explaining a lot of that stuff. They probably touch on it, but they didn't put as much stuff out there that they didn't already explain. So or even like where the demons come from and stuff like that. But we could probably just um, kind of like fill in the blanks ourselves.
Yeah, I think they did briefly kind of explain where the demons started coming from in there when they told about Mugen's situation or whatever. But yeah, that was one of those where they kind of, I think the action in it in terms of like this why we beefing. let's get to this action. I think they was kind of more so on that, and the animation style more than make up for the animation style and the storyline more than make up for some of the explanation that could be explained. So I'll
Right.
give you that too. Yeah, got to give you that. But
But
yeah,
yeah,
man, it's a lot. It's a lot of animes.
I'm
My
gonna
bad.
say
Go ahead.
I wouldn't say I want to say Naruto, but not necessarily because they do explain a lot of stuff. But it's just like I guess I just don't like some of the explanations that we get. And I mentioned like Kaiju number 8. That's one where I would like to see a little. Well, hopefully we'll get a whole lot more as far as like what's going on with them and where the kaiju come from and everything. But I know the manga gives you different explanations. One that I'm salty about, Jujutsu Kaisen, because that's already done. So it's like, dang, we could have they could have went way more deeper, but he ended it while it was still hot. So I'm not gonna knock him.
Yeah, see that's the only reason why I didn't really mention them because I was like left Jujutsu Kaisen feeling like, man, I want some more of this, man. What are you doing? You know what I mean? So I don't know. It was so much more that they could have explored that I would have had liked them to explore. I'm not gonna say they should or
Right.
that's their intellectual property, but I would have liked for them to touch that. Naruto. The only reason why I didn't mention them in terms of world building is just because they have strength in other areas. I wouldn't say the world building was like a top tier strength for them. Like yeah, you got
Right.
the different lands and they look good and they got their own specialties and stuff like that. It's good, but it's not like I
It's not
walked into
very
that like
interesting.
yeah, like if y'all don't fight and show me some Rasengan, and you know what I'm saying? Tell us to keep the story going because the storyline is amazing. But I wouldn't say the world. Same thing with Bleach. Like Bleach was the world building was. I mean, it's cool. Like you know what I'm saying? It was cool. I like the fact that in the Thousand Year Blood War, we finally got to see the I can't even think of what it's called. The where the Soul King live.
Um, Shit, I forgot. I mean,
I
but
can't
with
even think of what
Bleach, they kind of explained stuff as they went along. Like they had a lot of exposition, as you went through the story. So you really don't have to, and it's simplified too. Like it's only three worlds, and the human world that's where we at, and you got Soul Society, and you got where the you got Hueco Mundo, and then you got the in between where the Quincy's live, and then like the Soul King Palace. They mentioned everything, but they didn't say too much about till they got there. So
right.
they, I think they'll be okay as far as like the world building, but for them it's like so much stuff. Also with Naruto, like the characters that they bring up and show us, and they don't explain their whole lives and what went on with them and what they was doing before, and or just didn't really give you much about them. Like they look pretty cool, but it's like, well, what's going on? Like, what's going on with Komamura? Like, after everything went down with him, did he die? Is he gonna stay a dog? Did he just go back to his people and chill? Like, what's going on with that? They didn't give us a closure on him. And just like with Naruto, like, what about Kakashi's dad? You know, um, what clan did uh, Minato come from? Like, what's
Yeah,
going on with Konohamaru and Anko, what's her thing, and what's going on with Mirai. Like they have enough there just trying to explain with just the characters that they didn't go deep with versus world building, and I think that's why, like you said, it really wasn't nothing to mention about them shows.
yep, facts. And I think they, like I said, they got strength in other areas because even though they have a lot of questions to answer for characters, the characters that they get did explain through, like you kind of fell in love with those characters. They did a great job of like of building those character, I guess building those actual characters, developing those characters. You know what I mean? That it's like, all right, your world isn't the best world to build. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, whereas the edge I would say where Dragon Ball Z is kind of in that same category, but a little bit better, is just because they took you there and they kind of gave you a sense that these places were important. You know what I mean? Like when Namek was destroyed, it was like, oh man, they destroyed Namek. Wow! Like even though we didn't know nothing about Namek, you know what I mean? We had only met what three Namek or two Namekians at that point, Piccolo
Right.
and Dende, or not Dende, Nail. So it's
Right.
like, so at that point we only knew two Namekians. So, but we had such an interest in why it was when it was destroyed because they just took it a little bit further during those type of battles or whatever. But um, yeah. So I thought that was that's the only reason why I would give those ones a little bit lower and not put Dragon Ball up in that a little bit higher. Plus, Dragon Ball had way more time to take you to those
Yeah.
worlds, like you know, like those settings in Dragon Ball. Like everybody remember what the Cell games look like. You don't have to, you know, you don't have to phone home for that one. Call phone a friend for that one. You could just everybody know what the Cell games look like. We all know what Namek looked like before it was destroyed. We know what it looked like while it was when Goku turned Super Saiyan. We know, you know what I mean? Now we know what the demon first or second, third and second demon worlds kind of look like so you don't really have to explain those. Whereas, some of those other worlds, it's like, I mean, and I guess we know a little bit of what Waco Mundo looked like, that kind of thing too. So we can say that, but a lot of his battles are still in the city or in the Soul Society, which looks like a regular city. So I don't know. That'd be my gripes there with those other ones. Oh, I forgot to mention Sword Art Online too. They should be in a little bit of a world building category too.
Yeah.
I thought they series did a great job of transplanting you from. They didn't even spend a lot of time in the regular world. I mean, they did spend a good amount of time there when they came out of the. I can't think of what the machines are called. When they came out of the machines, but they spent a lot of time in the machines in different areas. So they did a good job of transplanting you in different places too. And a lot of especially with Alicization, like the the style of the art style, and as they were going through the worlds, just some of that stuff was breathtaking. So I was like, oh yeah, this is a good
And
show right here.
they did give you a lot of real world stuff in there too. Um,
Mm-hmm.
and then like you said, because coming from the second season of that, and I think it was the girl that was the sister when dude busted in there was trying to do some old Wayne Gacy type shit to her, trying to kill her. I don't know if he was gonna try to kill her or grape her or what. Like, and then he came. Was it Kirito that came in there and saved her?
Yeah.
Yeah, that part, and that's when it started having more, real stuff happen. No, more stuff happening in the real world, like when they took over the turtle, and
Mm-hmm.
all that. So, you're right. Sword Art Online, and one that we probably should have mentioned from the jump, Evangelion.
Oh
Like,
yeah.
you straight forgot about them.
But we spent the whole episode talking about that. We should have been the first one we mentioned.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I think they did a good job too of like how I mentioned Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z World. They did a good job of making every place important. Like the like so even in the areas where they were doing the experiments when at the very end when they go down and he's talking to I can't remember her name now. It just went out of my head. But anyway, he goes down to the bottom and he's talking to her or whatever before the end. And
You
it's
talking
like,
about the doctor
yeah, I can't think of her
with the
name.
blonde hair and the dark eyebrows? You talking about Risiko?
Yes, man, Risco. So when they down there talking before she died, it's like an important conversation inside of this place. That otherwise, that's not important. Like it's just a place where they did they experiments at, and you know what I mean. And he was talking to her mom after his wife died. Like it's
Right.
just a place, but every single place in there was important. Like so that it then the battle started, and now everybody hiding under the desk. Got the scary girl under there. You know what I mean? It's like that turned into a battle zone. Outside is a battle zone. You know what I mean? And so it's
Right.
like anything. It felt like anything could happen at any given moment, but every single spot. It really because of the character development too. Is like those are the areas where people worked and spent their lives trying to trying to hone these avas at. So yeah, they did a really good job just even making those little areas important. Like yeah, yeah, I don't know why we didn't mention that. That's crazy.
Yeah, it just popped in my head. I was like, hold on, we forgot about them.
Yeah, definitely.
But this is probably an episode that'll last a whole week, just because when I think about world building, I'm thinking like you watching it, but you're not thinking about, oh, this is, you're not, it's not in the front of your mind that you're in that place. It's just there. You're just there. Like with One Piece, you watch it. You're not thinking about, oh, you just thinking, oh, this is Earth, but not like, okay, this is One Piece Earth. You just there with them watching all this stuff go down.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and then what was another one that was pretty good? That I was thinking of. Um, Code Geass. That's a good one. Even though they still got a lot to explain, but yeah, like I said, it's just we'll never we'll never get done talking about it. There's so many of them that
Yeah,
just
so
do it without
yeah,
effortlessly.
man, I more so gravitate towards for people who listen like gravitate towards the ones who just make those places important. Like because you could be like I'll never forget the battle in space. And it's just space, but with the Wing Zero in space when I'm like, bruh,
Mm,
when they fighting the tall geese.
yeah,
And they fighting the I'm like, all right, bro, like this is cold. You know what I mean? Like this is a cold little area right here. But I can still picture or when Quattro Quattro's dad passed when they going up
yeah,
in the ship. His dad like, hey, listen, this is it for me. And he's screaming for his dad. I thought that was a terrible voice acting segment, but it was like still a pivotal moment in the show. So I still remember when his shit blew up and Quattro, no, like you know,
that was as good as it got back then. Sheesh.
it was, and I still remember it to this day. So it's like, the things that make those moments or those spaces important. Or Akira, like I'll never
Yeah,
forget him taking that bike and sliding under the thing to get in, and now it did all action ensued from there.
right.
You know what I'm saying?
I
So all
mean,
action ensued.
yeah, and then we forgot about Cowboy Bebop,
Cowboy
Trigun.
Bebop is just top tier storytelling. Period. Like,
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like it's so much. Like I'm watching. As a matter of fact, I'm watching. I just got finished with the first one. I was currently watching. I won't call it a retrospective. But it's more so like uh, exposition, story analysis. That's what we call it. I just put it up on the TV for the Horizon Zero Dawn series.
Okay, I
And
probably
these
need
are
to
like,
watch that too then.
yeah, it's like that's based off a freaking video game. It was like 2 3 hour videos for the first one because I still haven't finished the first one, and then they got the second one that just came out last year, I do believe, and he got like a 3 4 hour video just telling about the world. He said the world building on that, but yeah, we've been blessed to be anime fans because it's a lot there's a lot of shows and stuff like that that give us that great world. But I think that's one of the things that they do the best is they're able to just okay, we just gonna make a world where you drink this blood or whatever and or eat this person, you turn into a giant. And if I inject you with this or whatever the case may be, you turn into, you might turn into one and everything. It's like, but versus some of these American cartoons, which I'll give it to Avatar, and you can argue with the wall if you want to. It's considered an anime.
Yeah,
The Last Airbender, American anime, they did a good job with the world building. But then 90% of the stuff that come out here is just um, cookie cutter, you know, just whatever. You know what I
yeah,
mean?
like slapstick humor
Yeah, or
kind of
just
shows. Yeah,
copy and paste. Oh, it's the same thing, but it's different characters.
yeah, yeah. I gotta agree with you there. The Last Airbender. When I watched that, I like some people was telling me like, man, this is a great show. But the people who are telling me, I'm like, man, shut up. But but I watched it. 10 out of 10. Now M Night Shyamalan messed up the movie, but other than that, he should.
Yeah, the
Yeah, he
Netflix
shouldn't have
series
done
is
that, man.
okay, but yeah, it in Castlevania they knocked it out of the park with that.
He
You
definitely
know,
knocked it out of the park with that one.
but
That I
we
wouldn't
got some.
suggest you watch that with children, but other but other than that,
I'm glad my kids grown. I ain't got to worry about it. And yeah, and then Nocturne season two, it definitely get a little bit of that, but they
hmm
toned it down a lot.
yeah,
It's more so two
yeah.
dudes
But
kissing
it's
instead
the
of
world.
horse kids.
Yeah, and the world building there is great too, and of course it's built off of the Dracula lore or whatever for people who ain't watched it, of course. But
Decades.
but yeah, it's that's an amazing show. Don't watch it with children though. Let's just put that out there. Avatar: The Last Airbender, definitely watch with your kids, but but not Castlevania. Um, but yeah, man, it's a lot of like you said, it's a lot of animes that do a great job of building worlds simplistically because there's some that have a simplistic world. You know what I mean? That's still good. Like even though I can't really say this is one of my favorite animes just because um, reasons we already discussed on the show. Doctor Stone, I think they had a beautiful world. Now it was still Earth, of course, but
Oh
they just made it so beautiful. Like everything that was reset. You know what I mean? Making the new mechanisms to travel, and the scientific things that they added to the show. That was a great world
I
build
just
too. But
finished the last season,
yeah,
the most recent season earlier this past week. Man, me knowing the ending and how they fumbled it pisses me off because exactly about what you said.
yeah,
Because the whole point of that show is rebuilding, is world building, like getting everything and all the different people. But I still ain't. I know how it ends, but I didn't get spoiled. If that makes sense. Like well, as a matter of fact, I thought I saw the end. I was wrong. Remember what I told you about it? That
mm-hmm.
wasn't the end. That's just them finding out what was really going on because
Gotcha.
they get to America. So it's like okay, I'm like, well, wait and see what happens with that.
Yeah, we're gonna have to see what's going on with that one. But yeah, they did a good job of making like a beautiful world for them to be in, even though it's our world again. But people who are interested in world building, that's one you can see a nice, beautiful world in. There's a few other animes. We don't have to get into them now, since we've been talking about this for a while. But that I like have simplistic worlds or whatever that do a great job, similar to Doctor Stone. I don't necessarily care for the animes as much, but I digress. But the world building can still be good, and anime
Yeah,
not be that great. But
but
but yeah,
I'll say, and I guess we could leave it at that. One of the ones that do that the best, like you said, just simplistic. I'll say Pokemon. Like they just kind of passively just explain, oh, this how this works. and this is what this does, and this is where we're at. Like they don't really delve too deep because it's more about the characters and the Pokemon or what have you. But the
Mm-hmm.
world in and of itself is just it's not dug too deep, but you don't expect much from that, because you get everything else, all the colors and everything else going on in there. So you don't
Yeah,
really
for
worry
sure.
about it too much. You just take whatever they say as face value and keep it moving.
Facts. And I love Pokemon still to this day. And I agree with you there. It's like you go to one region, there's a certain set of Pokemon. You go to the next region, certain set
Right.
of Pokemon. Is we getting a gym? Is we getting a gym badge or not? Like we going to this tournament or not? Like that's pretty
Right.
much it. Like what are you trying to do? Live your dreams and traveling with your friends. That's pretty much what that's about. But yeah, but Jay, you right there. Simplistic world. We going here. We doing this. We gonna catch a ferry over there. Old Team Rocket blasting off again. And we out of here. For real. But I still love that show though. I ain't gonna even go lie. Still to this day, I'm watching that in order too. But
I stopped watching. I think I stopped watching around Johto League, so I don't even know what's going on with it.
right, man. I still love Pokemon. I ain't gonna lie. I play Pokemon Go almost every day. But but yeah. All right, moving along. We talked about the world building, and we actually added some of the protagonists in there. That's where we're gonna head to next. Just talk about our favorite anime protagonist. Maybe even mention why you like that character. This one right here, man. Like it's so many anime protagonists like
Right.
that you can name for different reasons. Like I don't even know where to start for real. For real, uh, I like Vegeta. That's the easy one. Like
Yeah,
Vegeta
that's
be
my
about that
favorite.
break. Like let's like that's our
My
favorite
favorite
one.
Dragon Ball Z character. Yep.
Yeah,
I'm gonna go with
he don't be playing no games.
yeah, Senku from Doctor Stone.
Mm-hmm.
Fucks with him. um, damn. I don't even remember their names because I just watched I don't pronounce it Down that I know where the fuck it's called.
Yeah.
Both of them, dude and old girl, I like them. Or the whole cast is amazing. I like that show. You know what I'm saying? Everybody on there. Um, I wish I could say Zenitsu from Demon Slayer, but they just I don't know. They just fucking. I'm more like I don't. I like for me. I kind of gravitate towards the number two main character. Like the main character is cool, whatever. Like I'm more of a Sasuke person, more of a Vegeta, more a Nicholas D. Wolfwood, type of like them type of characters. Or like, well, I can't say that because most people haven't really don't watch the tokusatsu stuff or like the Japanese original versions of like Power Rangers and whatnot. So I
Right.
can't really speak on that unless you're aware of it. But usually, each character, depending on like the Pink Ranger is usually a princess, and she's all got the bubbly, demure personality. The Yellow Ranger, if it's a girl, she's a tomboy, and then the Green Ranger's the goofball. The Red Ranger's the leader type, but then the Blue Ranger's usually that cool, calm, collected, standoffish type. And I usually, that's usually like the type of character, main character personalities that I like. That's what I want to say.
Gotcha. I think that kind of varies for me because Vegeta, he one of the main ones that's a number two that I'm like, yeah, bro. Like he got the right type of idea about the situation. Early Vegeta got on my nerves, but once he was like, all right, I'm a good guy, but Kakarot, I'm still running this fade every chance we get. I'm like, that's my guy. But other than that, like you know what I'm saying, most of the time I'm not rocking with that guy. Like Sasuke, yeah, he's a beast. He just got on my nerves a little bit. Like, woe is me. I gotta go over here and find this power because I need to get stronger and forget what you're talking about. And then
Yeah,
you see your friend get stronger, and you like, no, I'm still gonna go over here because I'm me. I'm the dark guy. Let me go over here. into this cave and still get stronger. And he like, bro, I'm getting stronger too, bro. What's up? You my friend, bro. Come back. Lift weights with your boy. Come shoot in the gym with your boy. He like, nah, bro. I'm gonna lift weights in the cave over here.
Right. But I don't know. I kind of say that Naruto with Sasuke and them, like, kind of had shitty writing for them. I'm gonna just say that.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I can say that, but yeah, in a way, like I get where you're coming from with that, like in terms of just a relationship. But I mean, it's hard to argue against Sasuke. Like, but one of my favorite parts in, or one of the reasons why I like Naruto so much, in that just from his, because he had that still that childlike attitude. Like, I'm gonna approach every day, like every day. You know what I mean? Like, today is a new day. Let me get up and train, or let me go do this. I'm still on the main goal, but let me have some fun over here on the side. That's so I messed with Naruto in Naruto for that reason. And then of course my guy in Naruto's Rock Lee. He used to be getting active with
But
with
like I
no
said,
jutsus, but
but like I said, kind of. Hold on, I'm about to adjust my camera. But like I said, kind of shitty writing on their part. I'm sorry. I'm gonna have to just. When it comes to the character development and the way they did them, like I said, I think they kind of had shitty writing because I believe he, regardless of what anybody say, I think he kind of like was pulling stuff out his ass as he went along. Um, but with Sasuke, like the only thing like Kakashi could have just came and hollered at him before he ran off with the sound four and it would have been cool. You feel me? Like
yeah,
actually try to stop him. He knew he was trying to leave, but he didn't try to stop him. You know.
yeah. It's been like that, like through parts of that story. You're right about that, because Kakashi was strong enough to stop him. Like, he could have just subdued him, like if he had to.
Right. Yeah, he could have just like, okay, he talking about reckless. Let me go tell the Hokage, and well, he was just dead at the time. But whatever the case may be, he could have just hemmed him up and put a seal on him or something till they figure some shit out.
Yeah, true. Then we wouldn't. Then we would have been. Then we wouldn't have had Sasuke running off and he went to his emo phase. But yeah,
And even at the beginning, like third Hokage, like why was you letting Naruto live like that, and why was you letting the town treat him like that when you knew what was up? And his dad said, he's gonna be Konoha's hero. Like, he could have just told him like, okay, this what happened, y'all. He saved us, and he put the soul of the fox in the sun, and don't treat him bad because he wasn't willingly do. But it's just like I said, I think it's kind of bad writing as to why them characters are kind of crappy.
yeah. I mean, when you put it like that, I gotta agree with you there. The only thing is if they wouldn't have did it like that, then how else would they would have told the story? That's the only thing. But yeah, you're right though, because they treated them bad, and we like that was an easy solve. Or even with some of the other Jinchurikis, like Gara. Like, Gara didn't have to be isolated and mad that whole time. Once that happened, they could have took him in. Like,
Well,
hey,
not even
bro.
that. He had a good reason. Like, he was treated like shit by his dad. He wasn't loved. Besides from nobody but his mom. Like, they actually explained why he was treated the way he was and what his problem was and why he was
Yeah,
so psychotic and stuff. Naruto was just like, bam, he lives in this ramshackle ass apartment by himself. His parents are dead. Even after we find out what happened, then you looking at the third, like, well, what the fuck, dude? Like, he asked you to take care of me. You did absolutely
eating
nothing.
instant noodles.
Yeah, like, come on, bro.
You right about Gara too. I forgot about that he was treated bad by his dad. Only wouldn't treated bad by his mom. I did forget about that part. So yeah, you're right there. They did explain that. Kind of how they explained the girl in the Nashi in the actual video game. Kind of similar. I don't know if you played it or not, but
Nah, I didn't.
similar. Everybody treated him bad like a weapon. Just left him in there.
That's what I'm
You
saying.
know.
Like,
Yeah.
yeah, so, but that's the thing. On that side, he explained it well, but with Naruto, he didn't. Sasuke, you know, it's shitty writing. That's what I said.
Yeah, and Sasuke did have a reason to be upset too, but he didn't. Especially when he figured out what was going on, he had a reason to be even more mad. So yeah, I think if he figured out that then too, like I probably would have been like, yeah, forget the leaf too. But other than that, I just get that sense with some of the characters, like Yeah, but the way they wrote it, that's who you was, bro. I wasn't vibing with it, but yeah, it is because of the writing though, because they wrote the story. So,
Right.
so yeah,
And I want to know what disease did Tachi have, and they could have did more explaining as to his specific reasons as to why he just didn't just whack Sasuke when they fought and took his eyeballs. Well, we knew why, but it's like we had to infer a lot of that. Like he could have explained it. He could have explained it to himself. Shit. Like we had to find out way after the fact that when he came to the Leaf during the original series, it was just to let them. He found out that the third died, and he's letting Donzo know, like, y'all better not touch my brother. Or you better act right. Like, but they
yeah,
never explicitly explained that in the show. We had to hear it from, the creator. But whatever.
yeah. And they like sideways explained that after Itachi died, like when Toby at the time told him,
Yeah.
told him like, yeah, this is what really happened. And he was like, "Oh snap, you lying? Nah, that's what happened, bro." So he figured out what happened. Then that's when you kind of put everything together. Like, dang. So if he did that, told them to chill, or told the third Hokage, like, "Hey, everybody but my little brother." You know what I
Right.
mean? And once he said that, then everything kind of hit. Like, oh, that's why he visiting. Because why else would he visit? Then when they started fighting like Nagato and all them, they
Right.
reanimated Nagato and Itachi. Then he Itachi even made it clear, like, hey, this is what's going on. But other than that, but yeah, it was a lot of ways that they could have explained it or pivoted a little bit different to still make it make sense. But you know how that go with animation, bro. I still love Naruto's storytelling though. I just was like, man, like the overall grand arcing thing, like everything in that show,
Right.
maybe except the fillers from the first episode to the end, all was getting to that same point. Like
Right.
everything meant something. Again, outside of most of the fillers. But yeah, so I thought that was pretty cool there. But yeah, as far as protagonists though, Vegeta got to put him. Like I said, got to put him up there. I rock with. See, Piccolo was a hard one for me. I did like Piccolo too, but I didn't start liking Piccolo until the Cooler movie when he was fighting against Cooler. When I figured out that he could stretch his arms and do all those other moves that they wasn't showing in the show. I'm like, where is this at in the show? You know what I mean? So all of the cool stuff that those type of characters can do. But I kind of like strong characters that's meek, like Kenshin. I mess with Kenshin. He just walking around minding his own business until somebody start, messing with his friends or whatever. Luffy, I love Luffy. He one of the number ones. That's my dude because he just hilarious, bro. He just be out here trying to eat, out here trying to eat. He going to sleep. Don't mess with me though, cause I will gum red hawk you in the face. But other than that, he chilling. Luffy chilling. Like if I could be a anime character, I would be Luffy. Cause man, I just want to eat, sleep, be on the water. You know what I mean? Chill with my homies. Just leave me alone. So I like that about that. But then, but One Piece is another one of those ones where Zoro is a great character. Uh, yeah, I even like what's his face? I can't even think of his name. Jinbei. I even like Jinbei in there. So that's another one. They got a few characters on there. I don't know if this is considered an anime because I'm not sure who produced it, where it's produced at, but they just came out with another one that's called the Four Nights of the Apocalypse, Seven Deadly Sins.
Oh yeah.
Seven Deadly Sins. I like Meliodas in there too. He is hilarious. He be groping. He be groping. Need to cut that out. But other than that, it's hilarious. Especially when you figure out that storyline that's another great world building one there. Seven Deadly Sins. Short but great world building. But yeah, anyway. So those are a few of my anime protagonists. I do like Yusuke Urameshi too. Uh, Gotta like him. And then Kuwabara is another one. That's a great anime protagonist. He is hilarious. Um, and but uh, I was just mentioning before he dropped out about Yusuke Urameshi and
Yeah.
Kuwabara and Hiei. Yeah, like them three right there. That's another trio in the anime. That's amazing.
Oh yeah.
Um, yeah, and then we can really go from there. But those are the
Yeah.
main. Those are the main popular ones that I love. Don't and all of my Studio Ghibli characters. I had Totoro
Same.
on my wallpaper on my phone for years, bro.
Um,
but
what was
yeah,
that one? It came out. I want to say it came around the same time as Rurouni Kenshin. The dude had the wooden sword.
yeah, the wooden sword.
Like it was,
Kenshin, they had wooden swords in there.
wasn't Rurouni Kenshin the one where he had the reverse blade sword?
Yeah, he had the reverse blade sword, but everybody else was walking around with the wooden joints.
No, it was another one. The main character had he carried a wooden sword.
And they came out around the same time.
I think they came out around the same time.
Oh, I think I know what you're talking about. I can't think of his name though.
It's on the tip of my tongue. I don't remember the name of the show.
I don't think nobody. I think he was the only one too.
Yeah, because they didn't have no guns or nothing like that. Let me
Man,
see.
I can't even think of it, man. And I got a whole list here too. Let's see. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, it was that shit was real funny. I ain't gonna lie. Come on, bro.
But yeah, man, it's a lot of definitely a
Gintama.
lot of.
That's what it was called.
What was
Gintama.
it? Oh yeah,
Gintama.
I
Yeah,
couldn't
that.
think. I could see dude's face, but I couldn't think of like what it was called. I'm like, hey, what is this anime called?
But yeah, I like Lelouch from Code Geass. Um, Renton from what the fuck was the name of that? I can't remember the name of it. Uh, Eureka Seven. That's what it was.
Yeah,
I will never say Shinji, even though he's, whatever. They
yeah. We gotta give shit. We gotta run Shinji. Talk about Shinji, bro, because we gotta slide him in there because that was trash.
he's a piece of shit. I don't care what no other
I don't want to
regardless.
get in here. I don't want to get in here. Like,
He's
get
a
in there,
ego
man.
ass.
You've been doing
Shit,
this whole
Oscar
time.
should have
Now
been
you
the
don't want to
main
get in
character.
here.
Right.
Oh yeah,
He
she was
still
all
didn't
about
even
it.
after the fact. Even in the new stuff that they got, he still don't want to do
Yeah, like man, get out of here. You want to do all this training, and then when the going gets tough, you like, nah, I'm cool.
it. Gendo Akari was right. I don't care what nobody says.
Hey, they was they was that
He was
yeah, they was
justified in
clowning.
his actions.
Yeah, they was clowning, bro. Well, yeah, I don't know, man. That's a good list of anime protagonists there. It's so many more, man. It's like they filtering through my head
Yep.
even as we speaking. Some of them that's funny, some strong, some both. Some of them don't even want to talk to nobody. But then if you they'll flick their finger and destroy your planet type stuff. But yeah, but hey, we got a good list there. Make sure y'all drop y'all's in the comments. I know last time we had a pretty good showing for people talking about who could beat Goku. If y'all want to argue about that again, we can argue about that too. But yeah, we gonna move on to our last topic today. We're just gonna talk. We kind of talked about this a little bit, hinted about it a little bit, talking about the studios. We want to talk about our favorite anime studios, and yeah, it's so many. It's so many, and I'll just name a few. I already talked about Studio Ghibli. Um, Spirited Away, My Neighbor Totoro, I always mess this up. Mononoke, Howl's Moving Castle, and Grave of the Fireflies. All of those are, you know, pretty excellent. Then you got toy animation with Dragon Ball, One Piece, Sailor Moon, Digimon Adventure, and Pretty
Right.
Cursed, which is the only one I didn't see out of that list. But all the other ones top tier. Um, Bones, My Hero Academia, Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood, Mob Psycho, Soul Eater, and the only one I didn't see on this list is Noragami. Um, you got Production IG with Ghost in the Shell, Haikyuu, Psycho Pass, Kuroko no Basket, Attack on Titan, which is they only did season one with Wilt Studios. They work with Wilt Studios. I think Wilt Studios did seasons 1 through 3, if I'm not mistaken. Yep. Wilt Studio, Attack on Titans 1 through 3 seasons, Vinland Saga, The Ancient Magus Bride, Great Pretender, and Sarah for the End. You got Piero, or I don't know how they pronounce that, but that's Naruto Shippuden, Bleach, which how can you even just beat those three? Tokyo Ghoul and Yu Yu Hakusho, that's top tier. That's almost dead in any other list. I said almost dead in any other list. But then you got TMS Entertainment with Lupin the Third, Detective Conan, Fruits Basket, Relife, Dr. Stone, which some of those we named. Yeah, man. So I don't know. Just so many studios and some that I didn't name.
Gotta get a shout out to Trigger for
Yeah,
sure, because they stuff be fire no matter what. Didn't they do uh dang, what was it with the drills and all that stuff? Forgot the name of it. Gurren Lagann. Yeah, that's something. Didn't they do them?
I think
Yeah,
so.
so
Yeah,
yeah, affordable. Gotta give them. They should deserve an Emmy, Grammy, Tony, whatever for the animation Demon Slayer. I mean, goodness gracious, they put everybody to task when they started showing them battles, boy.
man, they sure did.
Like, cause man, Mappa. Because I like the ones that the stuff that look good. Um, Bones. Didn't they do? You ever seen Wolf's Rain?
I haven't seen Wolf Rain yet. No.
It's pretty dang on good. You'll like it. Yeah, I like stuff like that. Like I don't really rock with. Like I don't hate the Studio Ghibli stuff, but that just ain't more of my wheelhouse. Like I watched like Spirited Away, Princess Mononoke, and How Moving Castle, that stuff, but I don't get super excited for those stuff. But you know, they definitely one of the OGs and one of the best though.
Yeah.
But I'm not too big on that types of stuff. But yeah, I mean it's too many to list, man. Too many to list.
Yeah, Studio Ghibli is just one of those ones that's just close to my heart from because it's how I got started really watching anime and loving the animation and like the little fantastical stuff that used to happen in there, like the curiosity and mysteriousness of a lot of those productions that they came out with, and I've seen almost all of them. It's just beautiful story work, beautiful artwork, and just storytelling is top tier. It's hard to say toy animation because Dragon Ball. I've been watching Dragon Ball since I've been allowed to watch TV. So that's just there. And One Piece and Sailor Moon and Digimon Adventure, like that's crazy. That's just a
I mean,
crazy list to have
Toei
on
I've
there.
been around for decades though. They've been around for like what the 50s or 60s, I want to say.
Yeah, man, and it's like to be able to produce those type of animes is just wild. Like I said, that's four hitters right there. Not to mention all the other stuff you see when you
That they did
either extended list or even partially help produce or whatever.
yeah.
And then, like you said, Bones, My Hero Academia, just a great show. Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood, that's on everybody's top 10 list, everybody's top 5 list.
Right.
So that's that.
Better be.
Mappa, Attack on Titan final seasons, that's cool. Jujutsu Kaisen was great. Chainsaw Man,
Mm-hmm.
that is what it is. And then I didn't even say A1 Pictures with Sword Art Online and Blue Exorcist Fairy Tale is a love or hate. I got a love or hate relationship with that one, but that's that. Cloverworks, I will say, are one of the anime. They created one anime that's kind of close to Studio Ghibli's like vibe, which is The Promised Neverland. So give them credit for that. But then they did Fate Grand Order Babylonia. Like I watched Fate. You got some weird fates that's weird, like, but we won't discuss why. Uh,
I
trigger
haven't seen
warning
it.
though. Trigger warning if you watch that. Yes, yeah, got some stuff, some suggestive stuff in some of those
Is it
fates. Some
worse
of
than
them are
Ninja
cool.
Scroll?
Uh, I don't know. I don't know. It's just this one character in there, man. He just off his rocker, and they like it's real suggestive when it comes to him. We can talk about that off air though. But I will say, if you decide to watch Fate, I can't remember which one it is, but just watch with caution because you might, trigger warning. Let's put it that way. Uh, Sunrise, Cowboy Bebop, Gundam series, Code Geass, Inuyasha. Like I loved Inuyasha. I mean, I love Cowboy Bebop and Gundam too. Still watching through Gundam. Still rewatching through Gundam because I love that so much. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, but you know, it's just so many, so many. But like I said, I give a nod to Studio Ghibli just because that's how I really got started in watching them, and I still love their animations to this day. Which I put a lot of. My wife, she doesn't really watch anime or care for it. She'll watch some. Like she watched Avatar: The Last Airbender with me years ago. We watched Kenshin together, which she liked that. But I put a lot of Studio Ghibli stuff in my box so we can watch that because I'm like, if you don't like anime now, you watch this stuff. You should change. Your mind should be changed. Which I don't know how the stuff that she liked didn't change her mind, but whatever, you like it, you like it. But that's an argument for her another day. but yeah, man, I think that's a pretty good list there, man. And it's just so many studios, and I only printed out a list of 25 of them. And so the
Right.
6 to 8 of them that I did read off that had all of those great works on there. I know it's
Yeah.
people in the comments that's probably like, no, but this studio did this, and this. But drop that in the comments too below, and we'll definitely probably bring that up either on the next show or interact with you in the comments. But yeah, man,
Yes.
you gotta give homage to these people who helped shape most of our childhoods. I know for me, a lot of these shaped my childhood, and
Hmm.
you know, took me to a world that I ain't had to be living in the reality at that time. So I'll leave that there.
Yeah. I mean, like you said, it's too much, and we sit here and we consider ourselves blessed to, like you said, be transported away. You just need that unwind time just to turn your brain off and just fantasize. And that's the whole point. Was like, what studio does that effortlessly and does it the best to where you just disappear into what you're watching? And if you had to just pick one that was a normal one, like I say, even though I don't rock with them like that, I'm gonna give it to Studio Ghibli because you watch it, you just there, you gone, you done, you in Narnia. Like whatever you watch it from them, it's going, you just gonna get absorbed in it.
Yeah,
So
man.
yeah, I agree with you wholeheartedly, brother. Shoot.
Yeah, that's just a crazy thing to be in, especially when you're a kid. You don't even know really what you're watching, but you still engulfed in it. And then 37 years later, I'm still like, hey, yo, you got to watch this too. You got to watch My Neighbor Totoro. You got to watch. So that's crazy. And then toy animation is the same way. Like I said, Dragon Ball is, I mean, come on now. It's just, even just that one by itself. In One Piece too, both of those, come on. Like you can't
Yeah.
even. It's hard to compete with. It's hard to compete with that. So
Right.
yeah,
Right.
yep. But all right, man. Any last words you want to say before we get off of here? You want to take another shot at Shinji, real?
Nah, I mean, like I said, Shinji is a POS. I'm gonna just leave it at that. Everybody have a happy and safe, productive, and good New Year. Let's make 2025 the best year of our lives, or at least try to. And just take care of each other.
So I second all that. I do want to say one thing. I was wrong about Dragon Ball Daima. What I said on the last show, I was like, man, I don't even want to. They doing the same thing as GT, kinda. Cause yeah, I was wrong. Y'all gotta watch it. It's a great show. So I'm gonna admit when I'm a man. I'm gonna admit when I'm wrong. I'm all in. I can't even hold you, but put that out there. But otherwise, I second everything else you said. Y'all make sure that y'all try to be a light in somebody else's life. Don't be out here causing problems. We got enough of them, and yeah, just keep the drama at home. Actually, don't even keep it at home. That's the last place I want drama. Diffuse the drama so you can have peace and be a light to somebody else. My man Allegretto over here. I'm Siege. It's Anime Maniacs. We appreciate y'all for listening. Till next time.
We out.